Much of the focus of the Internet of Tomorrow that the general public is anticipating focuses on it being more powerful, faster, safer, and more capable of protecting one's privacy, especially since the core technology of the Internet changes with each passing day, which indeed changes the world in many ways. However, when changes becomes unpredictable, it is even more crucial to learn from the past. Beginning from the 20-year brief history of Internet governance, Paul Wilson explores the principles, regulations, as well as the decision-making process developed and formulated by the community for the management and use of the Internet.
Where there have been so many different technologies that have come along, they've dominated the Internet in terms of the carriage that's delivered the Internet to the end user, but they've changed dramatically. They've come and gone. So we had analog mechanisms. We've had DSL that came along to lie on top of those analog. The telephone line in particular, DSL came and went. Mobile wireless has gone pretty ballistic and has stayed up there. Fibre, of course, and others have come and gone. And so these underlying networks, they come and go, but the Internet still exists. You know, the end user, apart from improvements in, say, speed and reliability, they get to do exactly the same thing with the Internet, and that's a pretty phenomenal result of the layered model.
Paul Wilson emphasized that with usage and the coverage area of the Internet becoming more expansive, whether it's the scale, flexibility, adaptability or resilience, in terms of the different levels, an enormous global Internet has already been formed. With the Internet being more commonplace, it has become inevitable for major frictions to exist between some authorities. Geopolitics, for example, has led to tensions between Internet companies and the government. To prevent a breakup, it is necessary to have multi-stakeholders to conduct a mutual reinforcement mechanism. Akinori Mamura also agrees the operation of the Internet requires the intricate coordination and collaboration of various Internet maintenance organizations, especially when the Internet has become the essential infrastructure for everything. With large tech companies gradually becoming involved in the operations of infrastructures, the scope of areas available for public discussion is also getting bigger and bigger.
For example, one of the bad example is of war. For example, we have the Ukraine and the Russian conflict, and then the many people know that we have the Air Force, Navy, and the Army. Not only them, but also we have the cyber force to do the war. A lot of people are, making an attack cyber in a cyber way. It is how the war is war is happening in now. So I mean that the Internet is the infrastructure even for the war, and not to say that to the war, but we have a lot of the international conflicts. And then which is happening on the Internet.
Akinori Mamura added that he is actually very optimistic about the future development of the Internet. For example, the linkage and application of big data and sensors is exactly a practical example of how the Internet changed daily living in a positive way. It's just that when faced with different conflicts, there is still a need to come up with adequate solutions. Starting from 2015, the signing of various international treaties and agreements is the advancements towards the solutions, but compared with the development and changes of the situation, the speed of the formulation of these agreements are still too slow. The in-depth analysis on the technical aspect by Mr. Jeff Houston, which fully explains the rapid advancements of Internet technology since the 60s, has already proven this fact, and also triggered a lot of considerations on different levels.
Should we look not only at resilience, but faster recovery as our future target? But if I'm talking about performance targets, what are they? What are we trying to engineer the system to actually behave at? What's the time level to detect and heal from some kind of disruption? What are the costs of resilience, and who pays? Are all remarkably good questions, and I'm not sure I understand the answers or anyone else. And last and not least, is it possible to position resilience as a competitive differentiator?
MFR Jeff Houston emphasized that, from a single node to system packet. Even when the technical aspect has become increasingly complex, there is still no 100% guarantee of the resilience of the internet. And if one were also to throw in the interaction between business and ethics, all of which reminds us the importance for users to think about why they started using the internet in the first place.
Many people, when they consider looking forward to the future of internet or future of cyberspace, many of them probably will prefer to looking for emerging new business opportunity or emerging new innovation in terms of technology. But one thing they probably forgot, in this kind of goal searching, basically you are that's a single one-way directional superhighway. And when you go to this way, you probably forgot everything you do based on a lot of building block that was made and controlled by someone else. If the building block is very solid, then good luck. Please go ahead, search for your opportunity in terms of innovation. And if the building block is unstable and can be crushed, and you're probably the one suffering in the supply chain of the building block.
From the technology to the humanistic aspect, in contrast with the changing times, even if the derivatives of the internet are unpredictable, Kenny Huang emphasized, internet governance is not just a one-way street. Gradual progress can only come when we look both ways.